Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Today I've got some fascinating stories to share with you from the AITA subreddit. If you enjoy content like this, make sure to like and subscribe. So shall we get started? Story 1. Am I the asshole for declining my parents' invite to a restaurant to celebrate my engagement? I got engaged a few weeks ago, and let me tell you, it was one of those moments where the world just stops. My fiancé and I were over the moon, planning our future, dreaming about forever. Naturally, my parents wanted to celebrate, which was sweet. They offered to take us out to dinner at my mom's favorite restaurant in our hometown. Sounds perfect, right? Except I can't stand that place. It's not about the food, it's fine, honestly. It's the vibe. Every single time we go, it turns into a social parade. My parents' friends spot them, swing by the table, and suddenly I'm trapped in small talk with people I haven't seen since high school. I'm not socially anxious, but there's something about these interruptions that makes my skin crawl. I just want to eat my meal in peace, not play catch-up with half the town. I've made no secret of how I feel about this restaurant. It's been a running joke in my family for years. I'm terrified of the place, haha. They tease, I laugh, but deep down it's not funny. So when they suggested it for our engagement dinner, I felt a pang of disappointment. This was supposed to be about us, about celebrating this huge milestone, but they picked the one spot they know I dread. I tried to keep it light, joking about it being my favorite, but my parents brushed it off, saying they didn't want to drive far. I get it, convenience matters, but this was our engagement. I offered to drive everyone myself, even suggested a handful of restaurants I love or have been dying to try. I thought I was being reasonable, making it easy for them. But then my dad called me out. He said I was rude, that when someone invites you to dinner, you say yes, not negotiate the venue. His words hit hard, like I was some ungrateful kid. I couldn't shake the feeling that my preferences didn't matter, that this celebration wasn't really for me. It's not just about the restaurant, it's about feeling unseen. I've always been the one to smooth things over, to avoid making waves, but this time, it's eating at me. I'm dreading the thought of sitting through a meal, faking smiles while old high school acquaintances interrupt our night. I'd rather stay home than plaster on a happy face just to please them. I tried bringing it up again, gently, but it backfired. My mom doubled down, saying I was making a big deal out of nothing. Now I feel stuck. If I push back, I'm the bad guy. If I go, I'm swallowing my feelings to keep the peace. It's not like I hate my parents' friends. They're nice enough, and I'm happy to chat with them at a barbecue or something. But this dinner was supposed to be special, intimate, just us celebrating. Instead, it feels like I'm being dragged to their social hub. I even suggested a compromise, maybe a private room at the restaurant, but they shot it down, saying it's too much hassle. I'm starting to wonder if I'm overreacting, if I should just suck it up and go. But every time I think about it, I feel this knot in my stomach, like I'm betraying myself. Part of me wonders if this is bigger than the restaurant. Growing up, I often felt like my parents' plans trumped my feelings. This dinner feels like another chapter in that story. I love them, and I know they're excited for us, but why does celebrating have to mean doing things their way? I just want this moment to feel like it's mine, not a performance for their friends or their convenience. So I told them I'd rather skip the dinner altogether. Now they're upset, and I'm second-guessing myself. Am I being selfish for wanting this to feel special on my terms? Am I the asshole for declining the invite? Story 2. Am I the asshole for not buying personal care products for my stepsister? Living in a blended family can be a minefield, and my house is no exception. I'm 16, my brother's 18, and we've been navigating life with our stepmom and her 13-year-old daughter for a while now. Stepmom is hardcore into the all-natural lifestyle. Think homemade deodorant, herbal remedies, and a strict no-shaving policy because body hair is natural. She's intense about it, but thankfully she doesn't force it on me or my brother. Our dad made sure of that with a clear agreement. She doesn't mess with our choices, and we get to use whatever toiletries we want. We're cool with that, though we do have to eat her vegan, all-natural dinners. Honestly, it's not terrible. Most days I skip breakfast, and my brother and I sneak fast food for lunch or grab snacks at school. Dinner's just one meal, so we manage. But for my stepsister, it's a different story. She's stuck under her mom's rules, and it's rough. No chemical products, period. She's got to use natural deodorant that barely works, and her mom insists on cloth pads instead of tampons because, chemicals. Recently, she's been breaking out with acne, and it's killing her confidence. Her mom keeps slathering on homemade remedies, coconut oil, tea tree, you name it, but they're not helping. My stepsister's hair is another issue. It's brittle and crispy despite all the natural oils, and she gets teased at school for not shaving her legs. She's desperate for normal stuff, tampons, razors, acne cream, decent hair products, but her mom won't budge, claiming chemicals are worse than the problems. Here's where it gets tricky. My dad sends me and my brother money for toiletries and an allowance for extras. It's not a fortune, but it covers what we need, like my shampoo, conditioner, and body wash. My stepsister, though, gets nothing like that. Her mom's against it, and my dad stays out of it to keep the peace. So she came to me, practically begging, asking if I'd buy her some acne treatment, tampons, razors, and hair stuff. I felt for her. She's 13, dealing with puberty and getting picked on at school. But when I added it up, those things aren't cheap. My toiletry budget is already maxed out every month, so it'd have to come out of my allowance. That's money I use for clothes, going out with friends, or saving for stuff I want, like new earbuds. If I bought her everything, I'd be broke for the month. I tried explaining this, but she looked crushed. She's already talked to her mom a million times, and even asked my dad for help, but he won't get involved. I get why she's asking me. I'm the closest thing she's got to an ally, but it's not like I'm rolling in cash. I suggested she save up any birthday money or maybe ask her bio dad, but she doesn't get much, and he's not really in the picture. I feel awful, like I'm letting her down. But I also don't think it's fair that I have to sacrifice my own stuff to fix her situation. Maybe I could buy her one thing, like the acne cream, but then what? She'll keep asking, and I'll be stuck. Part of me wonders if I'm being selfish. She's younger, and she's got it rougher than me in this house, but I worked hard to carve out my own space, to have my own things, and I don't want to give that up. I've thought about sneaking her some of my products, but that's a band-aid, not a solution. Her mom's rules aren't my fault, and neither is my dad's refusal to step in. Still, seeing her so miserable tugs at me. Should I just suck it up and help her out, even if it means going without myself? Am I the asshole for not buying her the products? Story 3. Am I the asshole for leaving my mom to drown in work? I've been working with my mom since 2022, helping run her small business. When I started, it was pulling in maybe $60,000 to $100,000 a year. I threw myself into it, managing the books, handling clients, even doing service work, and we grew it to $380,000 last year. It was a grind, but I was proud of what we built. About a year in, she offered to make me an equal partner. It was tempting, but I turned it down. I've got dreams of moving out of state, starting fresh, and I didn't want to be tied to the business forever. Still, she leans on me hard, especially for tech stuff or anything she doesn't get. I'm basically running the show half the time. The trouble started when she decided to bring back a service I can't stand. Years ago, when she and her husband ran it, it was a nightmare. They'd work past midnight, dragging me into it even when I had school the next day. It burned me out, made me resent the whole industry, even though I'm good at it. She thinks reintroducing it now will future-proof the business because of some legal changes that could hurt us. I get her logic. Things are shaky, and she's worried. But I think this service is a short-term fix that'll get hit by the same legal issues eventually. I pushed for a pivot to a new area, something slower but more sustainable. It's not a quick cash grab, but it's smarter long-term. She wasn't having it. The business is already a mess. Disorganized, stretched thin, and this service is fast-paced with tight deadlines. I warned her it'd make things worse, but she pulled the "it's my business" card. Fair enough, it's her call, but I drew a line. I'm not sacrificing my work-life balance again. I told her if this service meant late nights, she'd handle it herself or I'd quit. We agreed she'd take on any after-hours work, but 6 weeks in, it's falling apart. I've already stayed late once because she couldn't figure out the tech. Then she asked me to stay late again for an unrelated deadline, and I said yes, like an idiot. When I tried to leave early to balance it out, she got annoyed, like I was slacking. Now she's texting me saying she's drowning in work from the new service. I didn't reply. I mean, what do you say without sounding like, "I told you so"? I feel guilty, but I saw this coming. For years, I've begged her to fix the chaos in the business. It's unsustainable, and she shuts down any suggestion that means slowing down. We're planning to hire more staff, but we've been too slammed to even post a job ad. As a manager, that's on me too, since she's hopeless with tech. It's exhausting. This isn't just about work. My mom's made big choices in the past that left scars, decisions that messed with my head when I was younger. I've dealt with trauma from it, and I'm tired of paying for her calls. The same chaos in the business is wrecking my mental health. She even suggested I take a day off, but there's always some urgent crisis. I'm drained, and I know if I step in to bail her out, it'll never stop. I've decided to give her a hard deadline. Either we make real changes or I'm out. Still, seeing her struggle tugs at me. She's my mom, and I know she's trying to keep the business alive. But I warned her, and I'm not her safety net. I can't keep fixing her messes at the cost of my own sanity. Am I wrong for stepping back when I know she's in over her head? Am I the asshole for not helping her now? Story 4. Am I the asshole for offending my mother after she commented on my appearance? Last week, my parents sprung a vacation on me with just 3 days' notice. I'm in high school, juggling big assignments with tight deadlines, and I'd planned my schedule down to the minute. I begged to bring my laptop to work during the trip, but they shut me down, saying it was family time. I tried to make the best of it, even leaning into the vacation vibe by eating more sweets than usual. Normally, I'm a 1 or 2 a week kind of person, but I was having 2 or more daily. It was fun in the moment, but when we got back, reality hit hard. I stayed up until 2 a.m. for 4 nights straight, surviving on 4 or 5 hours of sleep to catch up on schoolwork. My skin, usually clear, started breaking out. 6 angry red pimples popped up on my cheeks, screaming for attention. I was exhausted, scarfing down dinner one night, when my mom looked at me and said, "Why is your skin breaking out? Try to take more care of your health, or you'll end up with an even worse appearance." Her words stung. She's done this before, commenting on my looks in ways that cut deep. Once she called me fat when my BMI was under 17.9. That sent me into a spiral of food restriction that took months to recover from. I've told her repeatedly that I'm insecure about my appearance and to please not comment, but she doesn't listen. This time, with my skin betraying me and my stress through the roof, I couldn't take it anymore. I snapped. "I also don't want my skin breaking out," I said, my voice shaking. "I have eyes, Mom." "I can see it without you pointing it out. And by the way, the main reason I'm breaking out is because you dragged me on that vacation with no notice. So please don't comment on my appearance. I'm trying not to obsess over it, and your words don't help. Respectfully, keep your mouth shut if you're just going to say stuff like this." The table went silent. She didn't say another word during dinner, but later she cornered me, saying my response was extremely disrespectful. She claimed she had every right to comment because I'm her daughter and that I should just ignore it if it bothers me. Apparently, I'd deeply offended her. My dad stayed mostly neutral but ended up siding with her, which hurt. I get that I might have gone too far with my tone. I was tired, stressed, and fed up, but I don't think I said anything cruel. I just wanted her to stop. Growing up, her comments have always hit my insecurities, my weight, my skin, my hair, and every time I've asked her to back off. This vacation wasn't even my choice. They gave me an ultimatum: go or get locked out of the house. I'm in high school, so what was I supposed to do? Fend for myself for a week? I tried to enjoy it, but coming back to a mountain of work and then getting criticized for how I looked felt like a slap in the face. Now I'm second-guessing myself. I know she's my mom, and maybe she thinks she's helping, but her words make me feel small, like I'm never good enough. I've spent so much energy trying not to hate how I look, and her comments undo that. I could have been calmer, sure, but was I wrong to stand up for myself? I'm tired of feeling like I have to swallow her critiques to keep the peace. Part of me feels guilty for offending her, but another part feels like I finally said what I've been holding in for years. Was I too harsh, or was she out of line? Am I the asshole for how I responded? Story 5. Would I be the asshole if I constantly corrected the spelling of my daughter's name? I'm a 39-year-old mom with an 11-year-old daughter who has a pretty common name. Think something like Christine, nothing fancy or unusual. Growing up, people often got the last letter wrong, calling her Christina instead. It happened enough that I just let it slide. If someone noticed and apologized, I'd shrug and say it wasn't a big deal. I didn't want to make a fuss, and for a while it didn't seem to bother my daughter much either. But over the last few months, it's become a constant issue, and it's really getting to her. She's at that age where everything feels personal, and every misspelling feels like a jab. She's even asked to go by a nickname to avoid the hassle, which breaks my heart a little. I mean, we chose her name with so much love, and now she wants to ditch it because people can't get it right. It's not just one-off mistakes. Even official stuff gets screwed up. I filled out an electronic form for her library card, triple-checked it, and they still got it wrong. Teachers, coaches, even friends' parents, they all mess it up. I've seen her face fall when she gets a certificate or an email with the wrong spelling. She started saying it makes her feel invisible, like people don't care enough to get it right. Hearing that from my kid hit me hard. She's only 11, and already she's shrinking herself to avoid this annoyance. I've been wondering if I should step up and start correcting people every single time it happens. Not rudely, but firmly, like, "Hey, it's Christine, not Christina." Is that too much? Am I picking a weird fight? I've always been laid back about this stuff, but seeing her so upset makes me feel like I've dropped the ball. As her mom, it's my job to have her back, right? I could let her use her nickname full-time, but that feels like giving up on a name we chose because it meant something to us. Plus, she shouldn't have to change who she is just because others can't be bothered to double-check. I'm thinking about talking to her first, seeing what she wants, but I'm leaning toward being more vocal. Like, if her teacher hands out a paper with the wrong name, I'd politely point it out. If a form comes back wrong, I'd call and fix it. It's not about being a jerk, it's about making sure she feels seen. But then I second-guess myself. Is this a silly hill to die on? Will I come off as that mom? The one who makes a big deal out of nothing? I don't want to embarrass my daughter or make her feel like I'm fighting her battles in a way that draws more attention to her. Maybe I'm overthinking it, but I keep picturing her years from now, still cringing every time someone gets it wrong. I've talked to her dad and he's on board with whatever makes her feel supported. We could let the nickname thing slide, but what if that's not what she really wants deep down? What if she's just trying to avoid the pain? I'm planning to sit her down, talk it out, and let her know we've got her back, whether she sticks with her full name or not. But I can't shake the feeling that I should be doing more to fix this now, before it becomes a bigger deal for her. So, I'm wondering if constantly correcting people is the right move. It's not about me, it's about making sure my kid feels respected. But is it too much to call it out every time? Should I just let her use the nickname and move on? Or is this one of those things where I need to step up as her parent and push for what's right? Would I be the asshole if I corrected her name every time? Story 6. Am I the asshole for telling my mother-in-law she can't just let herself in anymore? My mother-in-law has this habit that's been driving me up the wall. She'll show up at our house unannounced, sometimes early in the morning, sometimes late at night, because she was in the neighborhood. We've got a keypad on our front door, and every time we give her the code to check on the place while we're away, she keeps it and uses it like an all-access pass. It's not like we don't trust her to house sit. We do the same for her when she's out of town, but we always return her spare key and don't just waltz into her place without calling first. Changing the code on our keypad is a pain. It's not a simple reset, and we've already done it twice because of this. I just want some boundaries, you know? Last week was the final straw. I was working from home in the middle of a Zoom call when I heard the front door beep. In walks my mother-in-law. No heads up, no text. She made small talk while I tried to stay polite, but then she started rearranging our kitchen. I'm talking moving spices, reorganizing shelves, and insisting our daughter needed more snacks. We're careful about keeping sweets to a minimum, and here she was, acting like our pantry was a crime scene. I was fuming, but kept it together until she left. Later, I sat her down and said, "Look, I'd really appreciate a call or text before you come over. The code is for when we're away, not an open invite." I thought I was clear, not rude, but she got defensive, saying I was pushing her out of her child's life. Now my spouse is caught in the middle, and I feel like the bad guy. It's not that I don't like her. She's great with our daughter, and I know she means well. But there's something unsettling about not knowing when she'll just pop in. One time, she showed up at 7 a.m. while I was still in pajamas making coffee. Another time, she walked in late at night when we were already winding down. It's our home, our space, and I want to feel like we have control over who's in it. I've tried dropping hints before, like saying we're pretty private or not expecting company, but she doesn't pick up on them. Changing the code every time feels like overkill, and honestly, I shouldn't have to. We're happy to have her over. Just call first. I keep wondering if I'm being too harsh. She's family, and maybe she sees her visits as a way of staying close. My spouse says she's always been like this, just dropping by their childhood home without warning, so maybe it's normal for her. But it's not normal for me. I grew up in a house where you knocked, you called, you respected people's space. Now there's tension, and she's acting like I've banned her from seeing her grandkid. I've suggested compromises, like giving her specific days to come over or setting up a group chat to plan visits, but she took it as me being controlling. My spouse is trying to stay neutral, but I can tell they're stressed, and I hate putting them in that spot. Still, I can't shake the feeling that I'm entitled to some say over my own home. It's not about keeping her out, it's about basic courtesy. I don't want to start a war, but I also don't want to keep tiptoeing around this. I've thought about just sucking it up and letting her come whenever, but that feels like giving up my own comfort in my own house. Is it really so much to ask for a quick text before she shows up? Am I making too big a deal out of this, or is she crossing a line? Am I the asshole for telling her to stop letting herself in? Thanks so much for listening until the end. If you enjoyed these AITA stories, please like the video and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss what's next. Which story surprised you the most? Drop a comment below and let me know. See you soon!